What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be testing out a product that I just bought off Amazon. I actually seen this on Chris Fix's channel. If y'all don't watch Chris Fix, I don't know what's wrong with you. He has a great channel. He is actually, I believe, the largest automotive YouTube channel that there is. He does some great videos, so go check him out. But this was actually something that he recommended as like Christmas present or something like that. And if he recommended it, I want to try it out. I bought one. I think this is something pretty cool to like keep in your vehicle and stuff like that. And I'm actually going to be testing this out. It is actually a little bitty air compressor. This thing is actually pretty small overall. It's not that big. Now I'm not going to be testing out on a completely flat tire. My stepdaughter's CRV has a slight leak in it, and I'm probably going to let it get down to about 10 or 12 pounds, which is actually pretty low. And we're going to use this to pump this up. Now we're going to go over a few features of this here in just a minute, but I kind of want a time to see how long it would take this thing to pump up from, let's say, 10 or 12 pounds to maybe 38 to 40 pounds. And I know that's a little high for the CRV, but maybe that's another reason I'm not going all the way down to zero, is because I do pump up this tire a little bit higher, just so I don't have to put air in it as often. I don't overinflate it, but I do go a little higher than I do the other tires. There are several features on this, like I said, I want to go over. So let me get the camera set up and we'll go over those right now. Okay, when I say let me get the camera set up, I mean let me just turn it around. I'm still going to hold it. Here's your actual pump. It came in this box, but the box fell all to pieces. I like to never got it back open or back closed again once I got it open. But you can see here it is a OASSER, not sure how to pronounce that, OASER, P1S mini electric inflator. I will link this in the description below. It does have a lithium battery. It's compact. It goes to 120 psi. It does have 3 switchable units of measure. It does have the LED display right here, and there are a multiple accessory packs, which I don't think I'll probably ever use these unless I lose a valve stem cap. It comes with a couple ways to charge it. You have your wall charger. When you plug this in, this turns one color while it's charging, and it turns a separate color when it's done charging. I cannot remember what colors those are, but they do turn 2 different colors right here. And there's also one that you can keep in your car to plug in your cigarette lighter. Now it does have the adapter right here that you screw in to this side to actually do the air into your tire. This is the actual piece that goes on the end of this that plugs into your valve stem. It comes with a little case, which is worthless because it won't all fit into it. And then it has an instruction book. There's also a LED light right here that you can turn off and on with this button. Then on this side, one thing I wanted to talk about, you actually set this to how many PSI you want it to go up to. So I'm going to actually set this up to like, let's say 40. And then whenever you hit the power switch, it starts running until it hits 40 psi, and then it shuts off. So we're going to take this up here to my daughter's CRV, and we're going to time it to see how long it takes it to get from about 10 or 12 psi up to 40 psi. And we'll be right back. Okay, just to show you guys where we're at. We're at 8 pounds. I went down to 8 pounds because a lot of people actually run about 32 pounds or so of pressure in their car. So I went down to 8 pounds, and we're going to pump it up to 40, and that'll be 32 pounds of pressure we're actually putting in this tire. So since I'm going a little high, I didn't go all the way down. So I've already screwed this in. You can see where that screws in at, and you hook it up just like you do like a bicycle pump tire or something, push it in like that, clamp that down. Then I'm just going to turn on the back of this. Let me get around where I can see what I'm doing, and you can too. Turn this on. I'm going to pump this up to 40 psi, and then I'm going to hit the on button. Now theoretically, when that thing gets to 40, it should stop, and we're hoping it does. Okay, and I do have a stopwatch right here that's running. We're just going to set it down beside it, and we're going to see exactly how long it takes to put about 32 pounds of air in this tire. Now, to me, it doesn't sound like it's pumping extremely fast, but as little as it is, I wouldn't expect it to. We'll see how hot it gets. It's a really cold day here today, so I don't expect it to get extremely hot. But we're gonna see how long it takes it to get to 40 PSI, and then we're gonna check it with the digital gauge to see if it's actually correct. So as soon as that gets done, I'll be back and tell you how long it takes. I know this may be hard to hear, but if it's nighttime and you're running this thing, you can turn on that light right there. And you can run that at night while you're charging or while you're pumping up your tire if you're on the side of the road. And that'll make it a little more safe, because that way people can kind of see you more. I wanted to test that and see if it worked. It did work, so you can actually do that while you're pumping up your tire if it's night on the side of the road, and that'll help keep you just a little bit safer. Of course, I would get back in the vehicle and crack my windows so I could hear the pump running, and I would sit in the car. That way there ain't no chance I'd get run over, but that is just a little extra feature that you can use if you want to. Okay, we're a little over 8 minutes in, 8.5 minutes. We're at 30.5 PSI. So a little bit more. This isn't the quickest way to do it, but it does appear to be working. Okay, so it should be stopping in a minute now. You can see we're at 39.5, about 13, a little over 13 minutes. So we should be stopping about any moment, or supposedly, if it works like it should, we should be stopping at any moment. It just hit 40 and it stopped. You can see right there, and 13:27. So we're gonna call that about 13.5 minutes or so. Now let's set the camera up and see if we really got 40. It says 40.5. I thought I set it to 40, but we're gonna take it loose and see if we got 40. Okay, moment of truth. I'm gonna take my J-Code digital gauge. 40.8. So I'd say that's actually pretty accurate. And it took about 13.5 minutes. Let me get set up and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so about 13.5 minutes is what it took to pump that up from 8 PSI all the way up to a little over 40 PSI. Now that is, around 32 pounds of pressure or something like that, give or take. And that's what a lot of people would run, 32 to 34. Now, being that I put 40, it might have took just a little bit longer because there's more pressure in the tire, so it may have actually slowed down this little pump just a little bit. But you're still probably going to look at the 11.5 to 12.5 minute range if you're going from dead flat all the way up. Now, I do want to say this little thing didn't get very hot. It's warm, it feels good on my hands because it is cold out here, but it didn't get really hot. But there's a feature that I want to, all right, that got hot. There's a little brass bushing right here. You don't want to touch that because you got to unscrew it, so make sure you give it time to cool off, because that little brass bushing right there got pretty warm, so you don't want to touch that. So let that set before you unscrew it. That is a warning to you guys. But the actual device itself just got warm, but it is enclosed in this rubber seal, and that's something I want to say. I like that. I've used several other products before and stuff like that, and they would vibrate around while they were being used, and this rubber seal or this rubber coating on this actually stopped this from vibrating around so much. It didn't vibrate at all, actually. Wherever I laid it, that's where it stayed, and I like that, because if you're stuck on the side of the road, last thing you want to do is just to vibrate out while you're sitting in your car waiting on it to finish, pumping up your tire, and somebody run over it or something hit it or something catastrophic happened to it. So I do like that. I do want to say I just had on the concrete just sitting there, and the vibration actually scratched this plastic. Not a big deal. I could care less, but I guess they just didn't use the best plastic in the world right there. And again, that light does still work, and I would use that if I was at night, out on the road or something like that. I would use that light to actually illuminate this a little bit, just for safety precaution or something like that. And you never know, it could help you. It could have somebody help stop, change the tire if it won't pump up or something like that. If you have a complete blowout, this is not going to be your solution. This is going to be the solution that if you have a low tire pressure light or something like that, and you're out somewhere, you can use this in a quick fix to pump that back up. That being said, in this small package, this would be perfect for anybody's vehicle. Perfect. I mean, it worked. I mean, you've seen it. It worked. I had no issues with this at all. It does work. It's not the fastest thing I've ever used, but it does work. And I can recommend this after using it. Now, will it last 10 years? I don't know that, but it worked that time, and it was still running, and it actually shut off when it was supposed to, and was pretty much close to being dead on the money. It said it had 40.5 PSI in it, and it had 40.8. You can't ask for much more than that. I think that automatic cutoff feature is pretty cool. I would actually like to have one of these in a lot larger version that would pump my tires up quicker for like my Jeep if I go off-roading and I air down and I want to air them back up. I'd like to have something like this. I could just set it and forget it, and it pumped my tires up in 2 or 3 minutes each. I think that would be awesome. I don't know if they make anything like that, but for just your everyday car, just as a precaution's sake, this is pretty amazing. 2 thumbs up to this little Oaser, or however you pronounce that, air compressor. I was pleasantly surprised that it worked as well as it did. It actually worked better than the stopwatch. It took me a second to get the stopwatch going, and it's brand new as well. But I was pleasantly surprised at this little thing. I can definitely say this would be great to put in like your wife's car, your daughter's car, even your car. But when stuff like this comes to my mind, I always think about my family first, because I feel like I'm a little bit more capable than they probably are. And it may be opposite in your house. Your wife may be more capable than you are. I don't know. But in my house, I'm a little bit more capable than they are. So something as simple as this, it locks in place right here. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to think about whether you got it hooked up right. You plug it up, push that down, hit the button, and it's going. Just that simple. So again, 2 thumbs up to this little device. I highly recommend y'all getting one of these. I believe they were under $40. I can't remember. I bought this several weeks ago, and I'm thinking it's under $40, so it's definitely not going to break the bank. There's 2 or 3 different ones of these. I actually bought the one exactly that Chris Fix recommended. They got one that does a little more PSI, but who needs more than, 120 PSI? I mean, I don't know. Even in my truck, I run a lot of pressure in my tires, but I only run like 55 to 56 pounds in it. So, if you're needing more than 120 PSI, you might want to look at the other one. But for your everyday common car, truck, Jeep, stuff like that, I think this is a perfect just safety device to have in your vehicle, just in case you might have a low tire or a flat tire. Again, I'll link this in the description below. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.